anybody have a chance to see the Mannheim Steamroller concert last Friday? I don't see any hands. Well, if you missed it, you're going to hear some music from Mannheim Steamroller right now. Our first piece, called Celebration, is actually an arrangement of many different Christmas carols put together basically to a rock and roll beat, kind of how Trans-Siberian Orchestra and Mannheim Steamroller have weaved these different melodies in throughout different rock and roll styles. You're going to get to hear Kyle on electric guitar back there. You're going to get to hear some real drum set playing come up from our percussion section, and some wild stuff coming from everybody else. This is Celebration. We all took bets on whether you would clap in that long, empty pause at the end. We thought, should we leave this pause in? That's what's written. Should we leave it in? You were a pretty good audience there. I'm going to give you credit for now. I'm assuming you wasted all your applause on everything I say before we play the piece. So, nice job. Not moving until the conductor moves. Our next piece is a very syncopated dance called As Winds Dance that is written by Sam Hazo, who actually has toured and conducted with some of our high school students before. Very local, still composing. You can make a good bit of money if you're a really good band composer out there, and he's making tons. This is a very fun piece and very accessible to young ages. As Winds Dance. Before there was a concert band, there was an orchestra. And the reason concert bands sort of came into existence came through military bands. And when they became more serious of a medium, the problem was nobody wanted to write music for them. And in the early days of the early 1900s, late 1800s, you had people like John Philip Sousa, who coined the march and really wrote just for wind band or just for military band, aka did not have strings, which was a big thing at the time. It's like Dylan going electric in the 60s. And thank you, 3 people who got that. And the composer of the next piece originally wrote this for orchestra, but also wrote a great deal of early wind band music. And if it wasn't for him, Ralph Vaughan Williams and Percy Grainger, this ensemble behind you probably wouldn't exist because nobody would have ever written anything for them. Gustav Holst wrote a piece in the early 1900s titled The Planets. He wrote for 6 of the planets at that time, actually 7, but he didn't write one for Earth, and at that time we didn't have a telescope powerful enough to see Pluto. So, and by today's standards, sorry Pluto, probably wouldn't have written one for you anyway, maybe a dwarf planet. But this is, if you don't know, the planets are named after the Roman gods, and Jupiter is the bringer of jollity, or bringer of joy. And this is the chorale from the middle of it. It's very gorgeous, very joyful, and a piece that sounds great when played with a concert band. Can you all come home with me and just... My cats will love you. Thank you guys so much for supporting all the music in Westmont Hilltop as we go through these years of transition and moving people around. And just you being here says so much. And when those instruments come home and you actually hear them in the rooms, anything you can do to encourage that, you know, makes my life easier. And you're going to hear some amazing product come out of this group. I'm so proud of these kids and what they've been able to do just in the few short months that we've had them here. Our last piece, Mob Busters, David Holsinger wrote this because he really liked police dramas, things like Dragnet and Hawaii Five-0, things that had really rousing but kind of bureaucratic kind of theme songs to them. that's the story of why he wrote this. He wrote it to sound like this. I think it sounds like Darth Vader with a business suit on, but you can decide. This is Mob Busters.